Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network with your host, Will Huckabee and Mika Villas.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's about that time of the week. It's time for the Wrestling Nerdcast. As usual, this is a fan-listened and fan-supported podcast. Be sure to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/The Wrestling Nerdcast. If you like what you hear, if you like the guests we're bringing on, you want to hear more of it, be sure to support. Be sure, we gladly take the kind that jingles, but we rather have the kind that folds, baby. We got a lot of good prizes and gifts and stuff out there for you. As usual, this podcast is brought to you on the AngryMarks Podcast Network. Be sure to check them out on iTunes, check them out on Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast, Podbean, whatever the case may be. A huge shout out to our sponsors, Indie Customs, Behavior Driven, and Pro Wrestling World. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Combat Entertainment Georgia Heritage Champion, the Disrespectful Intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the reality TV star and national icon, the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Morning Star, the Incredible Huck, Will Huckabee. And as usual, I'm joined by my co-host. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. This Atlanta, Georgia weather is killing me. I'm joined by my co-host. She is one half of the World Choose commentary team. You can also find her not only on this podcast, but also on FOW. Be sure to check it out. It's a really good podcast. She is the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the receiver of all things unsolicited, the Aphrodite of affection. She is Miss Chicago Win, Miss hashtag What's That Mouth Do, a.k.a. Buy Me a Taco, the one, the only, Mika Villas. Mika, what's going on, homie?
Hello. I thought you were just so choked up to hear me that you couldn't speak, but it's just a cold, so you're sicker than usual.
Man, look, I moved down here. I'm now in Casa Huckabee has now moved down to Atlanta, Georgia, and it's been raining basically the entire time I've been here. I've been a resident of Atlanta for 5 weeks. And it's just, I swear it's rained a total of maybe 4 weeks. Total.
Those are my tears. Those are my tears because you're so close. I have to continue to hide the silverware.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you some backstory, just to let y'all know about a little rib I pulled on Mika. A couple of weeks ago, I told you I went down and performed at Spinebuster Championship Wrestling. On the way there, I decided to visit Mika. Or at least I decided to visit Mika's humble abode. I just walked in. Of course, Mika was not home. And I was just like, hey, Mika, you need to throw away this. Mika still has Christmas turkey. Mika, why is there still Christmas turkey in your refrigerator? And it's almost Valentine's Day.
First and foremost, stay your ass out of my house. I will call the police. You will go to jail.
I was invited in, okay?
You were not invited. You were like a vampire. You did not get invited in. You should have burst into flames. There should have been alarms and sirens and just everything and anything.
Quit avoiding the question. Why in the world you still got Christmas leftovers and it's almost Valentine's Day? Huh?
Why are you in my refrigerator? Why are you in my house? Why are you in my life?
I'm helping you out, okay? I don't want you to eat some green. You're not Dr. Seuss. You don't like green eggs and ham, okay?
I was going to feed it to you, but now the jig is up. Damn it.
Well, luckily for me, I don't eat turkey or meat or anything. I only eat fish, so luckily for me, I wouldn't eat any of your cooking anyway because, Mika, I know that you can't cook.
Says you.
I know you can kill some chicken wings, though.
Shut up.
So how was your weekend, Mika?
It was really good. I did a little traveling. I hopped in a car and went up north to Charlotte, North Carolina to partake in the wonderfulness that is Queens of Combat.
How was the show?
It was awesome. Their show, this one was Long May They Reign. The champion of Queens of Combat now, after having defeated Su Yung, is Diamante, or Angel Rose, as some of you guys may know her from Impact Wrestling. But there were a number of notable names there. You had Harlow O'Hara on the card, Savannah Evans, Kimberly, and Kristen Stadler. put on a damn clinic of a match. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of women's wrestling or just wrestling in general, but I love it when the ladies show up and show out. And Kimberly is just amazing, hands down, no matter who her opponent is. Kristen Stadler, you will be seeing and hearing a lot from this girl, I feel, as the months and years go on. She's got this alien kind of gimmick thing, and it's cute, it's adorable, but the most important thing is that she can really go. She more than held her own in that ring against Kimberly. So if you guys want to see this match, and I suggest that everybody does, go to High Spots and subscribe or buy the DVD on demand, whatever they're selling, of Long May She Reign, the Queens of Combat that they just did. It was amazing. I loved it. The girls are all talented and crazy as hell in the ring. Faye Jackson and Willow Nightingale were there defending their belts, the Queens of Combat tag titles. I mean, every lady, there's so much talent on that roster. Just so much talent. It's hard to pick like a favorite match, a wrestler, because when you get there, every last one of those ladies are just impressive as hell.
So was that the only show you did this weekend?
That is the only show that I did, and because that's the only show that mattered. Let me stop. There was a PWX that same evening. I wasn't able. I had to kind of get back here to Atlanta. It was, as you mentioned, rainy. The weather has been really bad, so I didn't want to stick around in North Carolina. The rain was going up there, and it just did not let up. But PWX held X16 this weekend as well, 2-day tournament, and the winner of the tournament eventually was Slim J. And if you do not know the name Slim J, ladies and gentlemen, please get from under your rock, get on the YouTube, get on the video share or whatever, and check this man out, because he is, pun intended, phenomenal.
I'm about to say, like, Slim J's been doing this for almost 20 years, man, and he's still a young kid. He's still very young and stuff, man. But I've watched like a lot of old Slim J footage and stuff, man, and it's like really a lot of guys kind of lose a step as their bump card gets filled up, and Slim J he's like the Energizer Bunny, man. He just keeps going and going, and I've seen him have a lot of really good classic matches, especially in Georgia versus Joe Black and Billy Buck and a bunch of other guys. You know what I'm saying? He is like you said, no pun intended. He is completely and totally phenomenal, being one of the proteges, or the actual main protege of WWE superstar AJ Styles and stuff, coming from the Church of Southern Wrestling down there in Cornelia, Georgia.
Preach.
Preach. I did absolutely nothing.
You said you were going to be a bum. I mean, more so than usual. That's amazing.
I did absolutely really nothing wrestling wise this weekend. Kind of for the most part stayed off of social media. I did check out some things. But yeah, for the most part, just stayed away from wrestling, let my body heal up. Like I said last week, usually I for the last couple of years, I've tried to take the last 2 weeks of the year off, just to let my body recover from wrestling, 49, 50 weeks out the year. But with now the defunct AWE, now Combat Entertainment, a couple of other companies, I wasn't able to do that. So my body, the last couple of weeks, my body's just been really banged up, just been really sore. And plus, like I said, just moving to Atlanta, there were some things I had to do around the house. So I just had to take this weekend off. It was really weird though, because it rained all day Saturday, most of Sunday. And besides being rainy, it was completely and ungodly cold for some reason. So I got like no yard work done. I did get some stuff done around the house, but did nothing in the yard, which is what I really wanted to do. So I'm going to take like another weekend off very soon and get that yard work done. So
wow.
Sad. So sad. I know. It's a life of a wrestler / husband / father. So I'm getting used to living in Atlanta. It's nothing like, Atlanta's the South, but it's not like the South. It's the dirty South, It's not like Southern hospitality South. New York South.
Wait. That's not necessarily true. I mean, because I go places here and people are insanely friendly. I am born and bred from the North. And, when people speak to you and look you in the eye, I'm like, hey, are you trying to fight me? I'm like, oh, wait, no, they're just really damn nice. Hold on.
Like I said, coming from a small country town of Havelock, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia, completely and totally a culture shock, not only for me, but for the family, for the kids. But yeah, I'm still getting used to this city life, man. And I don't know. I don't know. Every once in a while, at least once a day, I'm like, man, I should just pack up and go back home.
Well, I'm going to be nice and say that I will cry if you leave. But, if you stay, that's cool too. That's my nice thing I'm going to say to you for like the year. It wasn't even all that nice, I know.
You say that until, springtime hits and all your cousins show up.
Those are your cousins, and they'll be here for the Super Bowl. Let's be honest.
Let's talk about that before we talk about tonight's guest. I want to talk to tonight's guest about it too, but let's talk about that, man, because it's going to be Super Bowl held here in Atlanta. It's going to be the Patriots versus the LA Rams.
Maybe. Maybe. There is a lawsuit from a fan of the, not the Chiefs. Who else was it? I can't remember. Who else got screwed? The Saints. Oh, yeah. How could I forget? One of the Saints fans has a lawsuit against the NFL based upon the missed calls. And check this out. There is a rule in the bylaws of the NFL code or whatever that the commissioner could either restart the game or award the game to the team that was, the missed call or what have you. So this lawsuit is calling for Roger Goodell to basically give the Saints the win so they can go to the Super Bowl.
That was a huge missed call. The Pats and fans, that was a huge missed call. In my opinion, if the call would have happened, the Saints would be in the Super Bowl, and the Atlanta Falcons fans here would be in a riot. I've talked to a lot of fans, a lot of people here who are Atlanta Falcons fans. They said out of all the things that they didn't want to happen, the worst case scenario would be the Saints playing in the Dome here in Georgia.
Let me tell you, in my line of work, I've come across lots of Saints fans, and they travel to Atlanta. They travel for their team. I don't have a problem with that. It's the obnoxiousness in that, who that? Oh, my Lord, why? All over the place. I did not have a dog in this fight because, hello, Tom Brady's going to win. But I was like, please do not let the Saints come marching in. I mean, the puns alone would kill me, but just the influx of fans would just do me in. I think it's hilarious that the Falcons fans were celebrating that, these people lost. Should we not, get yourselves together and get a team that could actually win? So maybe you could play the Super Bowl in your home arena. I don't know. That would just be me.
But here's my thing. If the Falcons won, then they just have another chance to get blown out again.
I mean, it would happen.
Embarrassing loss in front of their hometown fans.
It would happen if it was against the Patriots. So, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, you know me. I'm a professional wrestler, so I think that everything can work.
Listen, I just want Roger Goodell to do a press conference so people can think, drum up some business like, you know what, he might actually change this thing. Do a press conference and swerve everybody. Just like, after consideration, I took it under advisement. I'm going to say this. Game stands as is. Good night. That would pop me right there. I just you go ahead.
Yeah, but I feel like that happens. Saints fans will come to the game anyway just to cause a disruption.
They're gonna. I believe, honestly and truly in my heart, they're going to show up in Atlanta anyway. Because again, it's not that far a drive from Louisiana to Atlanta. They're gonna come and protest or just cause trouble in general. I'm calling that now.
Well, that's my birthday. Like, my birthday is actually Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not going anywhere near downtown Atlanta that day at
Yeah.
all. I'm going to stay as close to home as possible because I just don't want to get caught up in that.
Yeah, I
It's like
strongly suggest the whole I want to say inner city, that sounds wrong, but the whole inner city is going to be really interesting and backed up traffic wise. If there are people listening from the Atlanta area and you have to go downtown, I suggest MARTA. The street closures, I've looked at the plan for Atlanta as far as the street closures and the sheer amount of protection and security that will be in this city all over is going to be crazy. So don't do anything crazy, but be aware that traffic is going to be worse than usual, and the security and law enforcement presence, undercover, FBI, I mean, you name every branch of the Secret Service, government, Men in Black, CIA, people you haven't even heard of, those folks, they're all
Did
going to
you
be
say
here.
did you say the Men in Black?
I certainly did. Trust me when I tell you, they'll be here too.
Well, look, speaking of people being here, right? Speaking of the Super Bowl game, my biggest thing I'm gonna say is nah, homie, nah. Speaking of that, tonight's guest, Mika, we have a very special guest on the phone with tonight. Um, he is the leader of the Nah Fam movement. He is the Caramel Colossus. He's a member of, because actually we've had his manager, Bowtie Dan, as a guest of the show. He is a member of the Gold Standard. He calls himself the Hoss of Hosses and the Bronze Kodiak. Not only that, but he is the headboard breaker and your MILF's favorite wrestler. Ladies and gentlemen, the Full Throttle Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Bronze Kodiak, Barrington Hughes. What's up, man?
You missed one.
Yeah, this one, what I missed?
I can't even say it on the radio. It's all good. What's going on, y'all?
No, this is, trust me, bro. Look, we've had Murder One and Rip Rogers up here. Okay, this is not a family-friendly podcast. Yeah. What I missed? Look, you just me nicknamed as David Starr, so if I missed one, shit, it's not my fault.
I'm just saying. No, I'm good.
What
How
I
you
missed?
doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. What nickname did I miss?
What nickname? Oh, Young Tax Return.
Oh, you know what? I did Young Tax Return. It's that time of the year, too. That's right.
It sure is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're from, so you're from Miami, Florida. But everywhere I looked up, it said Paisley Park. Now, is that just because you're a Prince fan, or is there really a Paisley Park in Miami, Florida?
Oh, no, that was just an homage to Prince.
Okay, I was just checking. It's Florida, man. The words of Charlemagne, the craziest people in the world, come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Okay?
Man.
But
I'm still debating that fact still. Okay.
It's true.
It's
totally
not true.
The craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida.
Bronx, yes.
I mean, there's no such thing as native Floridians. I mean, there's only like 2 people who are actually born and raised in Florida, so you can't like call them all crazy. Right, exactly.
No,
right.
I'm just saying, all of Florida. Everybody in Florida is crazy. Sorry. It just happened. Okay? I've been to a fest show. I've been to a fest show, okay? Like, they're crazy, man.
I can't co-sign for fest. I can't.
Well, man, look, you're doing big things, bro. You know what I'm saying? Full Throttle Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. You're all over MLW. You're like the biggest guy on MLW weight-wise. What, 6'1", 450-plus pounds. Just in a business that everybody says is an aesthetic business. Let's just be honest. Unless it's my wife, which, for the record, Barrington, my wife will never meet you because she's a chubby chaser.
Don't be like that.
What, man? I'm just telling you, my wife's a chubby chaser. She'll tell you she likes big dudes.
That's right. I mean, she'll still be your wife when we leave. That's all.
Wow.
You hear this, Mika? I'll come on the show. He's already fighting stealing my wife. But in the business,
add that to your name, Mr. Steal Your Wife. Okay.
Yeah, right, Mr. Steal Your Wife. But in the business that's supposedly aesthetically pleasing, the average wrestling fan will say that you are not aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
What is your response to stuff like that? What do you say is the key to your success?
In all honesty, being that I'm not the most aesthetically pleasing individual, I'll be the first one to admit it. It was a challenge because you had to get over that. When I broke in, it was the underwear model, physiques that were all over the place, the V cuts, and you have to be this size and do this. And I kind of came in with the mindset with like, what happened to all the big guys? What happened to guys that were my size? And I kind of came in with like, you know what? I want to bring this back to the forefront. I want to lose weight for my health purposes and be more athletic and do things like that and show that, hey, anybody my size or bigger can do what the little guys can do to an extent. Like,
well, I'm about to say, between you and Ace Romero, man, y'all are the two legitimately, in my opinion, two most agile, legit super heavyweights in the business right now. I've seen videos of shit that you and Ace Romero have done, and I'm like, there is no way of God's green earth I would take that. Not happening. Not today. Not ever.
I mean, Huck, you and I got to get a match before you say it's all said and done. Because there's been a lot of talk between us for a long time for this to happen.
Oh, yes, because you call yourself the horse of all horses. And that, as the Mid-Atlantic bully, I kind of take offense to that.
That's fine. You can take offense to it. You already know I want all the smoke, baby.
Now, being a Florida-based wrestler and stuff, man, we've seen that in the last year or two, professional wrestling in Florida, the professional wrestling Florida scene has really started stepping up. But for the longest time, Florida was considered a huge joke. Not only with the situation with Chase and Rance, but other things, just bad shows and bad bookers and bad
outlaw bookings.
Yes. How, in your opinion, how is the professional wrestling scene in Florida? What was the biggest thing that changed when it came to professional wrestling in Florida?
There's no more. I won't say no more, but it's much less of a competition when it comes to opportunities that come about, and there's more camaraderie, there's more brotherhood, more guys are working together to help elevate the team as a whole, because they know, hey, if we help one another get better, we help one another grow, this whole scene is going to get better, we're going to get better opportunities elsewhere. So people are going to start paying attention and saying, wow, look at these guys, they're really fucking good.
Well, you're right about that. I've noticed in the last couple of years, especially the last 2-3 years, a lot of guys from Florida really started traveling outside the state, making a name for themselves. Guys like you, Aaron Epic, Arya Blake, Aspen Rose, Saeed El Sabah, Treehouse Lee. There's so many younger men and women and stuff who have less than 10, 15 years of experience in the business who will really start to get out and make a name for themselves. Do you feel like there's any tension and stuff from the old guard as far as what you guys are doing and stuff? Because the style of wrestling that you guys are doing now is completely different than Florida wrestling. The first time I went in 2000, 2002, 2003?
Oh, yeah. Totally different. I wouldn't necessarily say they're static. Is there a little bit of miscommunication? Absolutely. But it's still, we're still transitioning into that new era of, okay, we want to be more action-oriented, we want to be more dynamic. And you still have the old guard that's like, well, we don't know yet. Somebody that I could say that has supported us fully, even though he's an old, miserable asshole, is Francisco Ciato. And I say that with the nicest of
I love Frankie.
And I love Frankie with the nicest. But he's an old dude. He's an old head. He's been around for a minute. But he appreciates what the new guys are bringing to the table. And he's one dude that has adapted and really thrived in the new Florida. Well,
with that being said, speaking of new Florida, I don't know if you know this or not, but Mika used to reside in Florida. So I'm pretty sure she's very familiar with the Florida scene, being the wrestling fan that she is. Mika, what do you have for our guest tonight?
That was the nicest cut over you've done for me ever. My God, you really are sick. Anyway, Barrington, for those who may not be familiar with you, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for 7 years. My first match was September 2011 against one of my trainers, Flex Magnum. I was trained by Rusty Brooks as well, and probably first couple of years in, I wasn't getting a lot of attention. So I, like what Huck said, I kind of took it upon myself to start traveling outside of the state to kind of get more recognition in the state, if that makes sense.
It seems like for wrestling, you have to move out of your home state to get attention in your home state. How do you feel about that? I know a lot of guys and girls who are having to break out of home to get back home to get that hero's welcome.
I think it works because you're able to get out, you're able to get different experiences, you're not complacent, and it shows that you really want to be better, that you want to do better. You're not just waiting for an opportunity to drop in your lap, so that shit doesn't happen, man. If you're not willing to go out there and sacrifice, and hey, some days you're not going to eat, some days you're going to be sleeping in your car, some days you might just make enough money to get gas to get home and get a bag of chips. This shit happens early on. If you're not willing to go through those growing pains and those hustles and those struggles, you don't deserve a hero's welcome when you do come back.
Preach. Okay. So as you've been up and down the roads here, who are some of the people that you've been in the ring with that you're like, oh my God, I would love to go one-on-one with them, fight them every night of the week? Some of your favorite folks to work with.
Vertigo Rivera, without question. He is out of the WXW school in Mineola. Saeed Al-Sabah, we have not had the pleasure of sharing a ring together yet, but that boy is something special, man. As well as his brother Treehouse Lee, the Law brothers, Brandon and Hunter Law, Snoop Strikes by my Smash and Dash Connection partner in MLW. There's too many to name, honestly, but one above anyone else, and I haven't had the pleasure of being in the ring with him yet, is Bull James. And when that happens, I'll be good to go.
Oh, that would be a damn good fight. All right, so 7 years in, as you were growing up, let's go back to childhood a little bit here. What got you into wrestling? Who are some of your favorite folks that you turned on that Saturday night or morning cartoons and waited for wrestling to come on? Who'd you like to watch?
All right, growing up, it was my number one favorite is always going to be Razor Ramon. Representing Miami and being Scarface and just being that cool motherfucker that, that everybody just kind of like, that's that motherfucker. Razor, I like Shawn Michaels. On the WCW side of things, Sting, of course. I liked a lot of the bigger dudes too, Yokozuna, Earthquake. Being a chubby kid, I could relate to him. Who else? It's really all I can think of off the top of my head.
You talk about being a chubby kid. How do people react usually when, like, people who are not wrestling fans, who you tell them what you do? What is the reaction that you get?
You get one of two. You get either one of two or you get both. Number one, you don't look like a wrestler. Number two, isn't that stuff fake? So, and then we kind of, and what else? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You stand 6'1", and you're a big guy. Somebody said something fake to you. These are idiots.
They are. So what I started doing, as opposed to the traditional way of getting mad and trying to force an explanation, people, you tell them, hey, you watch Love and Hip Hop, right? You watch The Avengers, right? You watch Iron Man, right? You don't sit there for an hour and a half and say, "No, that stuff's fake." You get engrossed in the moment. What makes wrestling any different? I said, you have to think about it. There's two men that sometimes don't know each other from Adam, that are telling a story with their bodies and trusting one another to be able to do that. Live, theater in the round, that is a lost art form that you don't see anywhere else except professional wrestling. We're able to do a physical live stunt show from beginning to end, having complete trust. Where do you see that anymore?
Nowhere, unless you count the NFL as a work. But I'm going to let you talk back to Huckabee, because if not, he'll cry.
Let's happen. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Nerdcast on the AngryMarks Podcast Network. We're joined by our guest tonight, the Kodiak Colossus, Barrington Hughes. See, I remember when he used to go by that one. Ah. Let's talk more about when you're saying fans' reaction to you, because I'm a bigger guy as well. And you always got the fans that say, "Oh, you're fat. Oh, put it back. Put your shirt back on and stuff." What is your response? First of all, what are you thinking when somebody immediately talks about your size and your look, and what's usually your first response?
Oh, well, that's easy. First thing I always hear, and I remember this was one of my first matches, and the guy was, "Oh, you look like Viscera. You need to put a shirt back on." Like, but your mom's not complaining. She's smiling right next to you. Mind you, I don't know who this woman was next to him, but she's laughing and having a great time. And from that point on, I just learned, you know what? Get back at them. Don't let them own you. You own them. They're here to see you. They paid their money to see you. Don't let them become the stars of the show.
Now, do you, because of course, breaking the fourth wall here, whatever, there's heels, there's baby faces and stuff, and everybody has a preference. What is your preference? When it comes down to it, the promoter says, "Hey, you want to work heel or face?" What's your preference and why?
I've been a face for so long that when I had the opportunity to be full throttle and be a heel, I was like, thank God. Because now I get to be an asshole again. Because it's like, faces get all the love, but heels have all the fun. And I like to have fun. So it's like, I like to be a heel a lot of times. But being a bigger heel, it always causes a bit of a dynamic because a lot of people don't know how to work with guys my size. So it makes for some creative storytelling a lot of times.
So what's your, because I have a different mentality when it comes to being a heel and stuff. I feel like a heel is very nature, always has to see that he's right. No matter what he does, he has to see that he's right in what he does. Kind of similar to Heath Ledger when he was the Joker and stuff. He's like, look, I'm a bad guy, but so is Batman, and I'm going to prove it to you. That I put in the right position. Batman's just as fucked up as I am. What's your mentality when it comes to being a heel? And what do you think makes somebody a really good heel?
I think it's what you said, Huck. It's basically justifying their position and showing why they're right. In getting people to kind of see things from their perspective. Me, as a heel, I just take it as, I don't care who you are, I'm better than you. I don't care what I have to do to prove it, I'm going to prove it by hook or by crook. Oh, you think because you go to the gym and you have abs and you're pretty? No, I go to the gym, I flip tires, and I squat a whole lot of weight. So what makes us any different? Because you're pretty? No, I'm better than you, stronger than you, I'm going to display that. And that's always been my position going in.
So do you feel like as a heel, when you're working, actually, correction, let me ask this. As a babyface, to you, what's the most difficult thing about being a babyface? Since you said you've been one for so long.
Getting people to sympathize with you. Especially being a guy, going back to my size. They feel like, oh man, you're bigger than him. How are you letting him beat on you like that? But if you can make it convincing and make it compelling where it makes sense. Like, hey, I'm a house of fire. I'm on him. I slip on the banana peel, and he capitalizes. Boom, now he's got the advantage. They're like, oh, crap, okay. But doing things like that, it is where you have to kind of take it to where it makes more sense. And it's tough, being a babyface.
I think something that I think is tough, but something that's needed is that you have a manager, Bowtie Dan. Y'all on the stable, the gold standard and stuff. And like I said, Bowtie has been a guest on the show before, and I had a very good conversation with him. And I feel like professional wrestling needs more managers.
Absolutely.
What was your reasoning for having a manager? Do you feel like he adds something that you're missing that wouldn't be there if he wasn't your manager?
I think especially like when I worked as a babyface with a manager, that's one thing you don't see. It's a unique look, and it adds an Achilles heel to me. You see this big, strong, almost invincible dude, quote unquote, but then you see this guy with this cane and this bow tie out there. I'm going to go after this guy with the cane and the bow tie. So that immediately takes my eye off the ball, and you can take advantage. So it provides a foil for myself, and it provides a sort of weakness, a sort of kryptonite. And as a heel, it adds the edge because now I have someone that has an extra set of eyes for
me. Do you think that more guys professional wrestling need managers just because they are horrible? I'm not saying you are, because I've seen some of your promos and you're really good. But do you think that more guys need managers in professional wrestling because they can't talk?
Absolutely. If you don't feel comfortable, being in front of a camera talking, because not a lot of guys are. A lot of guys are comfortable in the ring. When the camera cuts on, they're they sound like they're in a fourth grade speech class. It's like having someone that can, do your talking for you, do that quote unquote heavy lifting for you in the promo department allows you to, one, learn by listening to them, and number two, just be more comfortable in front of a camera until you're ready to develop your own voice.
Now, you said, if guys have a hard time, especially with you as a heel, they have a hard time putting together matches, and it takes some creativity in order to tell a story in the ring. You're working at MLW, man, which is some of the best talent around, low-key, et cetera, et cetera. They all work there and stuff. How is the atmosphere at MLW behind the scenes? And do you think that working there why do you think working there has made you a better wrestler?
Oh, it's tremendous. It's helped me grow by leaps and bounds easily. Just because being in a locker room with that much talent, with so many people that have traveled the world over several times over, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna shut up, and you're gonna listen to what the fuck they have to say, because they'll forget more in a day than you probably know up to this point. So
have you had any issues? Have you had any issues with anybody in the locker room, especially when it comes to putting together matches and saying, hey, look, I'm going to sell for you, but I'm only taking like one, maybe two bumps?
As far as, like anywhere or just MLW?
We'll say specifically MLW, but let's say anywhere.
Okay, anywhere? Early on in my career. And I remember this, and I'll tell a quick story. So I was working a comic book convention as the Kingpin, and working this guy that was doing the Joker gimmick, and it was a gauntlet match. I've maybe been working 6 months up to this point. Never really been in a match longer than 6-7 minutes. They're like, you're going to go all the way through. I'm like, okay, crap, okay. So me and this guy are here. We're calling the match, and he's like, yeah, well, I want to do this, and I want to bump you here, and I want to bump you there. It's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm like, you're going to be leaving quickly, and I got to stay in for another 20 minutes. You can't get all your stuff in. So, and it just so happened that Kevin Sullivan was in the back. So he's like, yeah, but I really want to do this and then that. I said, but how does that help the story? He's like, but, it'll get me over. It'll keep me strong and it's not. I said, hold that thought. Kevin? So I called Kevin.
Oh, come on.
Nope. I don't give a damn. No. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So I was like, okay, well, I told the guy, I said, well, tell him what you told me about what you want to do. Tells him. Kevin told me, was like, nope, you're not doing any of that. This is going to be your match. Boop, 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 boop. You get one of your spots, and you're done. He was furious. And from that point on, I learned, stand up for yourself. Have control of your match, and don't be afraid to say no to shit.
Yeah. Have you seen that guy since then?
Nope.
Yeah, actually. No, I did. He's no longer active, but I've seen him recently.
He's just sitting there giving you the side eye, like, you just want a bump from me. You switch me out to Kevin Sullivan.
It just didn't make sense. Why am I taking all these bumps for you when I'm going over? And I still have 2 more matches to deal with after that.
Well, I'm going to pass it back over. Speaking of struggling, speaking of bumping, I'm going to pass it over to the bump extraordinaire. She takes all the bumps. My co-host, Mika. Mika, when you go ahead with our guest.
That is such a lie. My God. All right. You were talking about MLW, and
yes.
learning, what has the difference been, or what have you learned from going from these indie shows that may do some video but nothing on the scale of MLW, which does like a huge production?
The biggest thing that I learned, because I used to sit in on the production meetings as well, if I got there early enough, time is money. Time is motherfucking money. And it's like, hey, if you're given a certain amount of time for your match and you go over, you are now costing the company money that you may not be able to give back. So be aware of your time, maximize your minutes, make the most of your time out there. I talk a lot to Low-Key now, even now, and he's like, if you're going to be out there, make your presence known. Make every moment you're out there mean something. Don't just be out there just to be out there. Make it matter. And with MVP, when he was there, for the few months he was there, he always taught us about being professionals. Be a professional coming, be a professional going. Even if you just, shake everybody's hand. Things that people should have known, you just kind of go over them over again just to be sure. And then going back to the whole production thing, making the most of your time and sticking to your time, because if you cost a promotion time, you're not going to be welcome back. If you cost them money, you're not going to be welcome back, because now you're a liability as opposed to being an asset to that promoter or that promotion.
True. Now, I've been, I don't want to say stalking your social media, but I've been keeping, an eye out, and I see you're doing some different type of...
AKA stalking.
Listen, he's very hard to ignore, okay? But I do have a question about this death match. You're about to do, a death match. Why?
Yeah. Why the fuck not?
This is this one coming up is this your first death match?
Yes.
All right, so explain to us semi-sane people why death match, and what are you looking forward to getting out of this match other than killing somebody almost?
Honestly, it's not just, I wouldn't say it's a bucket list thing, but it's something that it's always been taboo with most workers. Oh, don't do death matches. You'll be a garbage wrestler. And it's like I looked at somebody like Shane Strickland, who frequented CZW, who's done death matches, and he's like, dude, if you want to do it, just do it. Just live your life. And I reached out to them one day, and I was like, hey, I'm kind of interested in coming in. And they put me in the direction of the booker. The booker reached out to me. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's your rate? We discussed all the physicals, came down to a number. They're like, boom, let's do it. And here we are.
So, what, you have any ideas, just coming in, have you watched a lot of deathmatch wrestling? Is there anybody who you're kind of gonna take a lead from and go, ooh, let me do that?
Well, it's going to be a lot of Abdullah the Butcher, if anybody. But I have an idea with, I'm watching a lot of Japanese style death matches, because modern death matches, there's interesting spots, but there's a certain level of chaos with the Japanese death matches that I want to bring into that Orlando show.
Wow, bring in the chaos to Orlando, and it won't be Disney style. It's like, nope, Mickey Mouse. Oh. No. Let's talk about the Nah fam, because that I was like, okay, that's cute, but for me, I'm not particularly in on the lingo. What is Nah fam? What does that mean?
Nah fam is basically, don't accept no for an answer. Don't be complacent. Don't give up on yourself. It's like, well, we feel like you can just do this. Nah, fam, I can do more. Just give it a chance. Or we just want to just do this with you. Nah, fam, I think we should do this. And it's just a matter of just not accepting what people give you and saying, here, take that. It's not about that anymore. It's about being more and doing more. And that's basically what the Nah fam movement is. It's just not accepting complacency, not accepting what's given to you. going out and going above and beyond to show where you belong and what you deserve.
I love it. So, is there any, let me see, how do I put this? As you're going through, you're doing death matches, is there anything else on that, not bucket list, but kind of bucket list that you want to do in wrestling that you haven't done quite yet?
Travel the world.
All right. Any place in particular, any promotion in particular that you want to go and perform for?
Any WXW in Germany.
Okay.
All Japan Pro Wrestling, because New Japan is already locked up, and I see that. So All Japan or Big Japan, or even Noah. Anywhere. I just really want to travel the world and make a living in professional wrestling where I can say, hey, I'm taking care of my parents. I'm taking care of my grandparents. You know what I mean? Where I'm able to go out here and say, I work 3 days a week, and I can take care of my family when they're all straight.
That's what it's about. So, okay. And let's go one more little non-wrestling question. What do you do outside of wrestling for fun? What gets you, to relax, to hang out, to chill?
Oh, yeah. I love to cook. Love going to the movies. Of course, Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that. I love anime. I love comics, stuff like that. Like spending time with my family when I can grab them. That's about it. I'm a pretty easygoing dude.
What anime are you watching now? What's your favorite current?
Baki. If you have not seen Baki, this is probably the most violent, over-the-top martial arts fucking anime I've ever seen, and I love every minute of it.
Now, I gotta ask, I gotta step in here. I'm sorry, Mick, I gotta step in here because for AWE Short of Year 5, ACH and a couple of boys were talking about anime and stuff. And ACH said that when people say they're anime fans, if they immediately say Dragon Ball Z, he immediately stops talking to them. Like, he knows that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Are you that kind of guy? Are you like an anime novice?
Yep. I sure am.
Like he said that about. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I'm about to say, he definitely said that about Dragon Ball Z, and he said it's starting to be like that for Naruto. That like people who watch those two animes, he immediately knows they're not anime fans. They're just hipsters who happen to watch cartoons from Japan, and he stopped talking to them. The conversation's over.
Right. They're just catching a wave. But me and ACH have had conversations about anime, sitting in MLW when he was there. And we brought up stuff like Claymore, Ninja Scroll, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Lupin the Third, like all kinds of things. Cowboy Bebop, which is MVP's favorite anime ever. Fun fact. Just stuff like that, man. You know the love for anime once you start naming stuff that people don't know about. Stuff like Claymore, stuff like Host Club and stuff like that. You're like, who? Oh yeah, okay. That's how I know your love and your passion goes.
All right, so I will admit that I'm not an anime fan. I'm the Dragon Ball Z guy. But I'll tell people, look, I don't watch Japanese. Like, I'll tell people, I don't watch anime. I know nothing about anime. But for somebody like me who is not an anime fan, if you had to recommend one Japanese anime, I guess cartoon or show, whatever you want to call it, to watch, that embodies what Japanese anime is about, what would it be?
Honestly, there's not really one definitive because it just depends on what your preference is because there's so many different subgenres in anime. If you like action, if you like drama, if you like suspense, there's always something for you out there, even comedy.
But if I'm a Dragon Ball Z guy, I like Dragon Ball Z, what would you say? No, don't watch that, watch this.
Ooh. Fist of the North Star.
Hold on. See, that used to be a movie. That was a movie back in the 90s. I've watched that movie and that cartoon. Yeah, okay. I've watched that cartoon and the actual movie and stuff when I was a kid. Is that movie still on?
I think you can find it somewhere. I don't know where it is now, but it's there in certain places.
Well, Mika, it turns out I am an anime guy. What? I knew about Fist of the North Star. Look at that. I'm gonna hit up. I'm gonna tweet ACH like, what you know about that Fist of the North Star, mother?
Oh,
don't do that.
my
If you're
God.
gonna embarrass you, don't do that. Don't do that.
Please do that. Please do that. Because I want to see that happen.
Ain't nobody worried about ACH. I'm sorry, Mika. Do you have any more questions before I get? I'm sorry for breaking in.
I'm good now. I'm gonna go ahead and get that Baki going on so I can watch that because he said violence and he had me at violence. You go ahead and finish this up.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've tried to watch Sailor Moon and I just couldn't get into it, and it's just like, yeah. And I tried to watch like Full Metal Alchemist, and I just didn't like. I didn't really like that either. So, I figure I'm gonna be an anime guy.
Bleach is pretty good. It just gets long after a while. Same thing with One Piece. One Piece is 1,000 episodes. I refuse. I fucking refuse to devote that much of my life to any one thing besides my family.
See, I'm more of a British comedy show kind of fan.
Okay. There's one that I got told about the other day called Bad Education. This shit is fucking hilarious. Bad Education I love is good. That. End of the Fucking World is really good.
If you ever watch the show Shameless?
Yes.
Okay, you have to watch the British version.
Oh, same with, just like The Office. Okay, makes sense.
Yes, like the British version is so much better than the American version. So much better.
That's the same thing with Being Human, if you've ever seen Being Human.
Yes, I've seen that. There's another good show called Pram that I find that's hilarious. It doesn't come on anymore. Idris Elba's in this really good show called Luther, which isn't really a comedy, but it's Idris Elba. So, I gotta watch that. You go. I just started catching up on Downtown Abbey too, which is weird.
Downtown Abbey. Oh.
Yeah, it's a comedy, but it's a long ass soap opera. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Right.
It's kind of all over the place.
You know what I missed, and I wish I could remember the name of it right now. It was an old 70s like British suspense. What the fuck was it? It used to come on Sci-Fi Channel all the time. Had a British vampire, and it had some comedy elements to it, but it was suspense.
I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure.
I can't remember the name of it. In the moment I hang up, I'm going to remember it. But
you can tweet it to me. To me. All right. So I heard a rumor that you were a gear designer.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Now I've heard. There's also with this rumor I've heard that you designed gear for some very notable people. Is that true?
That is very true.
Mika, did you know this?
I was not privy to that rumor. No.
Oh, so you have to stalking Mika.
I listen. Admit to stalking. That's against some laws in some states. Florida is one of them. That's why I had to move. But yeah, go ahead.
So the only reason why I know this is because I was looking for somebody to help design some gear I'm thinking about getting, just some one-off gear. And I was like, who's I was just asking a friend. I was like, hey, who does a pretty good job designing gear? And your name popped up, and I was like, what? And it was like, yeah, he's designed some gear for a couple of guys in the Fed. So for all of our listeners and fans at home, please go ahead and tell us, who have you designed gear for?
Here we go. I've done stuff for the Motor City Machine Guns. I've done stuff for Kushida. I've done stuff for Daniel Bryan. I've done stuff for, I'm currently still doing stuff for Apollo Crews. So, Apollo, I owe you. I got you. Don't worry. And I've done some pretty notable independent guys as well.
So how did you follow that? Was it just because you're like a Japanese anime guy and you love to draw? Or did somebody was like, man, I'm trying to think of an idea for some gear. And you're like, hey, how about this? and then realized you had a knack for it?
Honestly, it goes even way before that, man. It was being in high school and, having my little notebook with all my little fake wrestling characters and then designing their outfits. That's how it started. And then when I started to discover the Florida indie scene, and I saw their gear, and I'm like, why does everybody dress the same? This is bullshit. So I started offering my services for free to a couple of local guys. I'm like, look, I'll draw it out for you for free. You get somebody to make it, and just give me credit. And that's how it started. And then it just so happened that I had gotten the email. I think I got the email for Daniel Bryan, and I sent him a sample of my work, and he's like, oh, can you do this for me? And I ended up designing the set of gear that he wore when he won the U.S. title back in 2011. And then from there, it just took off.
Wow. So now the proceed now, if I was like, hey, can you design me some stuff? Like, oh, man, I'll get to you in like 2-3 years. I got you.
Nah.
Just a wait list.
We'll talk, Huck. We'll talk.
Like, there's a waiting list, Huck. I'm sorry, man.
No. I got you.
All right.
Let me know when.
Well, look, I know that our time with you is running very short. So this is the time of the show where we ask for our fans, we ask for our guests to basically, get their shit in. But before we do that, we have a couple of questions we got to ask you to make sure to see if we really, really like you if we're ever going to ask you to come back on. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Now, question number 1, Waffle House or IHOP?
Waffle House, man.
Sheetz, Wawa, or 7-Eleven? Because you're down there in Florida. I don't know if y'all have a Sheetz anyway.
No, we don't have a Sheetz. I gotta go Wawa.
You've never been to a Sheetz?
I've never been to a Sheetz. So to be fair, I've never been to a Sheetz.
Okay, well when
and
you go to
Wawa
a Sheetz,
just has a way of making a really good chicken Caesar salad at like 2:00 in the morning. That's life. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Once you go to a Sheetz, man, you will never want to go to a Wawa again because they serve breakfast 24 hours, bro.
Okay, we'll see.
And you can get hash browns inside a burrito. As a fat kid, I'm telling you can get hash browns inside a burrito. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing.
Okay, I can see your point, but once I get there, we'll talk about it.
Third question. It's coming up in February, which means it's Black History Month, which means it's time for the racial draft. Who is your number 1 draft pick? Who are you signing? Who are you signing? Who are you picking as your number 1 draft pick to bring over to the black race? And who are you getting rid of?
Number 1, we are putting this motherfucker on the waiver wire forever, and that's R. Kelly. He can go ahead and go fuck himself. Like I would literally take a 16th round draft pick and a bucket of chicken for him at this point.
Oh God.
Oh my God! And nobody's gonna pick him up.
That's not my problem.
You got to put him on injured reserve, man.
Let him.
You got to put him on. You got to put him on injured reserve. Nobody's gonna take that.
No, let him sit. Fuck him. Who else? Who would I draft? Who would I draft? As a first round pick?
First round draft pick. Who are you picking?
Ooh. I think I'm gonna go Danny Moss, man.
Really?
I think I'm gonna go Danny Moss. Yeah.
Wrestler. You'll pick a wrestler as your first pick?
I would.
Okay. Non-wrestler. Who would be your first pick?
Okay. Non-wrestler. Who has shown that they belong to come? Who deserves to go to the barbecue this year?
Oh wow.
Oh, he just said it. Who's coming to the barbecue this year?
Who's coming to the barbecue this year? Non-wrestler, celebrity. Macaulay Culkin.
Mm.
Is it because of the commercials?
It's because of his whole career resurgence.
Okay, did you check the Home Alone commercials during Christmas?
No. Have you ever seen the video of him where he has like PTSD and he's going through the whole experience of Home Alone?
Yes. That's all I was asking.
That did it for me. That was it for me. I was like, yep, he's back.
Okay, since we got one wrestler that you would draft and one wrestler, and you got to say what's one wrestler that you wouldn't get rid of? One black wrestler you got to get rid of. Who's it gonna be?
Ooh. Angelo Dawkins.
Pop.
Okay, I'll ask why.
Why? Do you not see the way that boy dresses?
No. Okay.
Looking like he wearing his big brother's basketball shorts? Hell no. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, God.
All right, last question. Patriots versus the Rams. Who are you voting for in the Super Bowl? Who are you going for? Are you cheering for Brady to get his first ring? About that, you cheering for Brady to get ring number 6, or you trying to get LA Rams? Which one?
You know what? I'm taking the Rams.
See, I'm just going for the Rams because I don't want Brady to get ring number 6, and then all these Patriot fans say, "Oh, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever," but it's like, no, he's not the greatest quarterback ever.
He's not. Terry Bradshaw says, "What the fuck is up?" So shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, the man's gonna have 6 rings, guys. I'm sorry. The Super Bowl was created for Tom Brady and only Tom Brady. Just saying.
Get the fuck out of here, Mika. Ain't nobody talking to you. This is grown man conversation right now. That's the only
reason why I don't want the Patriots to win, because I don't want Tom Brady to get 6 rings. And I don't want him to get 6 rings and then retire.
He does not deserve.
He's got the hot wife. He's gonna have 6 rings. Call that man Thanos, okay? He's gonna snap his fingers and the Rams are gonna disappear.
Oh my God! Wow. You know what? If he gets that 6 ring, I might not see not one Tom Brady Thanos picture.
Oh, you're gonna see it.
Mika, how's somebody from Chicago?
So what happens when he does not get his 6th ring? What happens then?
Roger Goodell's going to overturn the game and award it to Tom Brady. That's what's going to happen.
You know what?
They're going to give him a lifetime achievement. Hey, they're going to give him a lifetime achievement Super Bowl ring.
Exactly. It's just his picture inside the ring with the number 1 holding up. Like, how do you get this shit? Wait, what?
Yeah. He's gonna have a special commemorative Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
Like we know you didn't win, but you got there. So this is just because you got to the Super Bowl.
The Rams are gonna, just in case the Patriots lose, the Rams are gonna draft him, and he's gonna get a ring no matter what. I'm just saying, he's gonna get a 6 ring.
He drafted Mika. He's retiring.
Watch the fuckery. Watch the fuckery. I'm telling you.
All right, Barrington. Before we go, I was talking to some coworkers at work today, and I was like, the NFL is a work. They're definitely going to give. There's going to come our way where Tom Brady's going to come out and he's going to win the 6th ring. It's going to come out to the last 2 minutes. 2-minute drill. He gets it at the last minute. They're going to win by 4 points. And then he's going to retire, and they're going to say that he's the greatest quarterback who ever played the game. That is what I'm foreseeing to happen this year in the Super Bowl. Because there's no way that they should beat Kansas City. There's no way. And we know that if the Patriots would play the Saints, we know Sean Payton would have brought back the bounty, and Tom Brady never would have made it out of the second quarter.
Exactly. Now, the problem is, here's where I feel where it was all contrived. Once Kareem Hunt got released, with no trial, no nothing, they just let him go. That was it. That was it for Kansas City. Because you had that beast of a runner, and then you had your backup running back, and then you had Mahomes that was out there, slinging lasers. So they had the team that could have beaten them. But once Hunt got released, that was it. It's like, you're going downhill now, and that's why they lost to the Patriots.
Exactly. Now, like I said, our comments running low. We can talk about football and anime and British comedies, and let me could get in her little one-liners every once in a while. But I know you're a very busy guy. You got stuff to do. This is the point we ask you to get your shit in, so all of our fans and listeners can become fans and listeners of yours. So Go ahead and let all of our fans and stuff tell us all your social media and any big shows you got coming up, specifically, February 9th with you at FEW. I definitely want to hear about that match because those promos have been killing.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. I'm pretty much done for the month of January. I didn't do my due diligence and pick up enough bookings for January. That was all my fault. Starting February, we have February 2nd. I go back to my home promotion, Real Pro, challenge for the Top Crown title against Grade A Chuck Davis. February 8th, Orlando Soundbar for No Peace Underground, challenging for the No Peace Underground title against Casanova Valentine. No ring barroom deathmatch. Anything goes. The following night, February 9th, it's FTPW versus FEW Breaking Heart, where I go against that pinhead Ace Mayhem. No titles on the line, unfortunately, but I would have probably walked away with about 4 titles at the end of 2 weeks. 16th, I'm probably going to be taking a visit up to IWE, Florida. Not booked, but going to go say hi and see what happens. And then just go from there. So if you're looking to book the leader of the Nah Fan movement, bookbhughes@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter at HughesPoo, Instagram at TheRealHughesPoo, Facebook Barrington Hughes. The like page, not my personal page. I will not add you. Already have 5,000 people. Any questions, concerns, comments, redirect them to the garbage bin. Unless it's about money, then we can talk.
Well, man, there you go. There you go, man. Any last words before we let you go for tonight, man?
I just want to thank y'all for having me on tonight. It was an absolute pleasure. I have nothing but the most respect for you in the world. Mika, you're an absolute doll. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope to see y'all down the road soon, man.
Yes, definitely, man. Like I said, I'll be coming down to Florida more often this year, so you might see me, man. Hopefully, the powers that be at MLW will actually give the fat kid a look. I don't know.
Wow.
We'll see. All right.
Anyway, have a good night, man. Yes, sir. You too. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Talk to you later, guys. Good night. You're welcome. Good night.
Mika.
Yes.
Barrington Hughes, wrestler, ring gear designer, anime fan, Patriot hater.
Hughesy Poo. I mean, I'm not going to stop stalking him because his hate for the Patriots. It's okay. Everybody has, a slight flaw here or there. It's fine.
How in the world can you be a Patriot fan from Chicago?
I like Tom Brady.
You're supposed to be cheering with me for the Bears. What is wrong with you?
The who? The what?
The Bears.
Huh? The who? The what? The huh?
You know what? You just like a Falcons fan. Just like it. Just turn on your team.
I don't even like birds. It's okay.
That's why I say you should cheer for the Bears.
Calm down, okay? Listen, it's okay. I have no dog in this fight, but if I had to pick one, it'd be a Patriot.
Boo. Anyway, Mika, what you got going on this weekend?
Oh my gosh. This weekend, let's see. I don't know. I'm just chilling. Oh no, the 27th. I am prepared for combat. Combat entertainment.
Because you're the Office, of course.
I am not the Office.
You're the Office.
I am not the Office by any way, shape, or mean, okay? I got publicly fired last show, but I'm still ready to be there at Combat for season. The season begins. You've got a huge test. You're going to be facing off against Saeed Al-Sabah. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I look forward to Saeed picking up the win. We are going to be in season, meaning that wins and losses will matter. I've got a lot of research to do, but
see, Mika, I was just about to congratulate you on the good job you did with the Combat TV gimmick, with you and Danny Danger and the Supreme Leader Blasphemous Uno and Josh Wheeler. I was just about to congratulate you on a really good show, very informative and stuff. But now, the hell with you.
You can say the hell with me, but the show, as you mentioned, it is on the Combat Entertainment page. There's also a link on the Twitter page. to explain to you guys and girls what combat is all about and to name off the participants. We have a virtual who's who of talent that will be coming to fight in combat entertainment, and I am excited for the season to start, and I can't wait to see you lose.
Let's just go ahead and talk about the match that everybody wants to see. All right? No offense to Saeed. All right? No offense to Adrian Armour. Well, let's just go ahead and say that B block, okay, the B block of combat entertainment, okay, of the combat season. B block is where it's at, because that means sometime this year, this season, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Incredible Hulk, versus the Mad King, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, we talked about hoss fights earlier. That will definitely be a hoss fight. Have you faced off against Eddie Kingston before?
No, and let me tell you something. I've had a list of guys that I've always wanted to face, and it wasn't because they were indie darlings. It wasn't because these guys were signed or whatever. I have a list of the toughest guys in professional wrestling, like legit tough guys in professional wrestling, as voted on by several other wrestlers. Guys such as Cahagas and Chase Owens, Cahagas and Chase Stevens and Bruce Santee. And right there at the top of the list has always been Eddie Kingston. Okay, he has been the guy I've wanted to step in the ring with for years now, because he is a legit tough guy. All right, and I've always prided myself on being a tough guy, and I've always said that if I can't hang with Eddie Kingston and get his respect, then I don't deserve to call myself a tough guy or be in the business of professional wrestling.
So you're about to be put out of professional wrestling? I mean, okay, listen.
No. I'm gonna break it. Look, first of all, this coming Sunday, I'm gonna beat the piss out of the Fest Wrestling Champion, and I hope that the powers that be at Fest. I hope that because I've done my homework, Mika. You know what I'm saying? I've learned as much as I don't like Blacklist Uno, as much as I don't like the quote unquote Supreme Leader.
I was gonna say, please call him the Supreme Leader when you address.
I've learned from the Supreme Leader that you've always got to do your homework. You got to know who's doing what, when, where, why, and how. So I've already been to Fest. I've seen what Saeed El Sabah can do, which is why I tweeted, hey, he's dressed for battle, but is he really ready for war? Because I'm not Effie. I'm not Serpentico. I'm not the Gymnasty Boys. I'm not Billy Branch. I'm none of those guys that he's ever faced. You know what I'm saying?
Again, you say he is dressed for battle, but is he ready for war? The question is, are you ready for what he brings to the table? Because he is more than just a Fest champion. I know that you've watched him, you studied him, but he's relatively new to the business, which means he has lots of tricks up his sleeve. You, my dear, are getting older, and you may not have the cardio to go toe-to-toe with this young man.
Ooh, did you just say what? If I could, let me tell you something. There's a reason why I wrestle as much as I do. There's a reason why I'm in the gym as much as I am. It's because I'm always going to be able to keep up with whoever I'm stepping in the ring with. Okay, you can put me in the ring with Speedy Gonzalez, and I'm gonna go right there toe for toe with him. You know what I'm saying? But this is not but here's the thing that you're forgetting. Saeed is a wrestler. This is not a wrestling show. There's no dives here. There's no coming up the top rope. All your little flippy stuff, all his little flippy, high, flashy stuff, that's not going to fly here. He has to stand in the ring and bang it out. I don't think he has what it takes.
Wow. You know what?
Anyway.
I'll give you maybe that point. We'll see come Sunday the 27th here in Jonesboro, Georgia at Combat Entertainment. But that back fist to the future, you're going to eat that. And you call yourself a tough guy? That has put down many a man who I believe are way tougher. Eddie Kingston is not one to be trifled with.
Look,
and you are in a fight.
Look, I'm gonna eat that back fist with a side of some greens. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna season that back fist up, like, lick my fingers after I take it. You know what I'm saying? I eat back fists like that for breakfast, homie.
Yeah, okay. That back fist has put down man after man after man. You keep talking that craziness, you will be eating that back fist, and you will be eating the rest of your food forever through a straw. I like you, but I need you to keep some of your teeth to be able to do this podcast.
What else you got going on this weekend, Mika? Is it just combat entertainment?
Combat entertainment this weekend, again on the 27th, February 8th, is Action Wrestling in Tyrone, Georgia. I will be there. It is a benefit show. They are doing Make-A-Wish Georgia. If you're on their Facebook page, Action Wrestling, something a special wish granting before the show for a young man whose dream is to be a wrestler. So I will be in attendance to help make that wish come true. So I'm looking forward to that. If you cannot be at Action Wrestling, again, go to their Facebook page, see them on Twitter. You can donate. More than time and the effort, these guys and girls come out and they wrestle for Action, but it is also about donations for a very, very good cause. The card is stacked like it always is, but it is also great to just donate from afar. So if you hear the sound of my voice, by all means, go ahead, Action Wrestling on Facebook, and donate to the cause. This show is for Make-A-Wish. I can't wait to see that show as well. I believe Anthony Henry is on that card. So again, lots of stars, lots of indie darlings, as you like to call them, coming in and lending their talents to these shows that benefit charitable causes.
Well, I know Friday I will be defending my Georgia National Sneaker Wrestling Georgia Heavyweight Championship. Then Sunday, like we already said, it's myself versus Saeed El Sabah, a.k.a. Professor Griff from Public Enemy for Combat Entertainment. I'm actually birthday weekend coming up next weekend. February 3rd is my birthday. Just going to sit at home probably with the family and chill. The day before that, Saturday, I've been asked to attend a Southern Honor wrestling event. I will be the special guest of one Gary Lamb, the owner of Southern Honor Wrestling.
Are you
I will
serious?
be in the building. Yeah. Look, come on, girl. Look, I told you. I'm making moves 2019. That's right. I'm not just wrestling. People are asking me to come in and check out shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've been owner of Southern Honor Wrestling, one Gary Lamb, to come and check out the show, give some critiques, what he like, what I like, what I don't like, some things that I would change or improve. But you know, can you really improve a show that's packing up the house and crowds get big every day? I think that he just really wants me to come there and just check it out. Kind of help agent with some of the matches and stuff. So I'll be in the building.
Security, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, well, if somebody throws a trash can, I'm not catching the trash can for nobody. So
just don't catch it with your face.
I know. I've learned from the Mucha Lucha show. Speaking of Mucha Lucha Atlanta, that's what? The St. Patty's Day, March 17th, Mucha Lucha 18. Mika, I'm super excited about that.
I am as well. That is going to be, as always, a huge, huge card on deck for MLA here. I think
that Mucha Lucha 18 is going to be crazy for the simple fact that Roosh would no longer be at the show because he just signed an exclusive contract with Ring of Honor. So decent moves being made and stuff in Mucha Lucha Atlanta.
Huge moves being made. What will this mean for his faction? You're in that faction. You don't want to give a little insight there?
Nah, I give them the right insights. I'm keeping my cards very close to the chest. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. As usual, we always got surprises there. If you're in the Atlanta area, be sure to check out Mucha Lucha Atlanta. It's a great show. Like what is it, like 1,400 people every show, Mika?
Every show of about 1,400. We max out the Espacia Ballroom in Norcross, Georgia. You can go to MLA or Mucha Lucha Atlanta on Facebook. Get your tickets. I know first and second rows are already sold out. You may be able to secure a third row, but every seat in the place is a great, great seat, and the action is just fantastic.
All over the place. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, we'll talk about that as it gets closer and stuff. Anything else you got coming up? I know you got another podcast that you do thanks to me. You know, you're a podcast queen now. And then you're the office in so many different wrestling companies in Georgia. Anything else you got coming up that's behind the scenes?
We talked about the shows I got coming up. Let's talk about April as we go into WrestleMania season. We are on the road. I will definitely be in the New York, New Jersey area, guys. I will be doing commentary for Battle Club Pro. So be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned to social media. Who knows what else I'll be doing up there in the New York, New Jersey area come Mania week. Lots of shows running, and your girl will be up there. So you never know when I'm going to slide in the commentary, slide into the ring, do some ring announcing. No, I don't fight, y'all. I'm just cute. So, you never know, but that's,
So if they want to find out, all you got to do is just slide to your DMs.
Send people to my DMs. I mean, unless it's for work, then by all means, slide into the DMs. But stay tuned to my social media, Mika Villas on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Mika Villas on Twitter. What's up, Twitter? Instagram, Mika Villas. Just every aspect there is all Mika Villas, y'all. Even the Snapchat. If you feel like you want to Snapchat me, just make sure that you don't do anything stupid on the snaps, okay? That's all I ask.
Oh, Lord. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, this has been another episode of the Wrestling Nerdcast with myself and Mika Villas. As usual, I want to say once again, thank you to our home base, the AngryMarks Podcast Network. Be sure to check them out on YouTube, check them out on iTunes, or wherever else you listen to your podcast. Thank you to our sponsors, Indie Customs, Pro Wrestling World, and Behavior Driven. On behalf of our producer, the one, the only CW, on behalf of my co-host, one half of the world's cutest commentary team, the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the Adonis of affection, the receiver of all things unsolicited, a.k.a. getting those DMs. She is Chicago Win, Miss hashtag what that mouth do, a.k.a. buy her a taco, Miss Mika Villas. I am your World Wrestling Grand Prix champion, National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight champion, the Combat Entertainment Georgia Heritage Champion, the Disrespectful Intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Reality TV Star and National Icon, the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Morning Star, the Incredible Hulk, Will Huckabee, saying peace out and support indie wrestling.
Bye.